Hi everyone, it's Carissa at Sprinkled with Glitter, and I am here with a card project today. I'm going to be using the two March kits from Studio Calico. This one here is called Office Hours, and I thought I would just quickly flip through some of the patterns. Now, I've used these already, but I really thought that this kit name was a little bit deceiving because it's called Office Hours, and I expected all these ledger papers. There is one ledger paper, but there's also these fabulous florals and wonderful spring colors, some bold stripes and a navy gingham, some polka dots, and I just love all the colors and patterns in this kit, and it really kind of wasn't what I expected by the name. So I guess the moral of the story is don't judge a book by its cover, or by its name, I guess. So I thought I would show you the water cooler add-on kit that's available in the month of March from Studio Calico as well. That was the stamp set there, and it also has some great patterns. This wood grain pattern I'm actually going to be using on today's card, but you can see that there's lots of bright colors, this lemon paper I really love, and I also really love this watercolor paper. So I wanted to add some mint cardstock to this card, but I didn't have any. So what I did was I just took my Studio Calico Mint Hint ink pad and a piece of white cardstock and just coated the cardstock with the ink. Now it's going to look blotchy, and quite honestly it's going to look horrible at first, but as this ink dries, it dries back and smooths out into the paper, and it just really creates a beautiful effect. So you'll kind of see that blotchiness there. And you can see it's drying here. I'm going to cut a circle out of it, and now it's completely dry, and you can see how beautiful and smooth that ink really is. So I thought I would create a polka dot pattern on this circle. I'm using some Color Box pigment ink in white and a little polka dot stamp that's from the water cooler add-on stamp set. And I'm just going to create a polka dot pattern all over this circle. Here's a peek at the wood veneer that comes in the Office Hours main kit. I'm actually going to be using one of these banners on the card today, and I'll use the coordinating stamp with that as well. So I'm just brought in my Versamark ink, and I'm going to use this A Note sentiment from the water cooler add-on, inking that up in some VersaFine ink. That's the Onyx Black VersaFine ink, and I'm just stamping that onto my wood veneer piece. And as I put this sentiment onto my block here, I will just kind of curve it up so it matches the curve of that banner as well. And I'll just stamp that once again. And I chose VersaFine because it has the least chance of kind of bleeding out into the wood veneer. So I'm bringing in the elements I'm going to be using, some of the pattern papers. This button is from the main Office Hours card kit, and those chipboard hearts are from the water cooler add-on. This doily is the only thing I'm going to be using that is not a part of the kit, but it is available over in the Studio Calico shop. So I'm going to go ahead and attach that to that wood grain piece of pattern paper. I'm just going to use some regular tape runner type adhesive to do that. I'm going to attach it to the left side of that piece of paper and then just trim off the excess using my scissors. And this extra piece of doily I can just set aside and use on another project. I'll go ahead and attach that mint colored polka dot circle that I created as well, letting it hang off the edge again, and then I can just use my scissors to trim that off. I think that this is really fun to add things to the corners of your cards and kind of just let them spill over and then trim them off. These pattern papers, they're both from the main Office Hours kit, and I'm just kind of trimming them down how I like. This stripe paper I had originally trimmed into a banner end, and I decided just to trim it at an angle instead. But this piece of floral paper that I'm going to put below, I am going to trim that one into a banner end. So I'll just snip it down to the length that I think is appropriate and just snip up the middle, and then from each corner I'll cut to that little slit that I've created. I can go ahead and add these to the front of the card piece that I'm creating. And just a little tip, and I didn't do this at first, but I corrected myself. To get those on there straight, you can kind of use the lines of your grid mat just to make sure that they're going straight across the front of that card. And then I did that as well with the floral paper below. To attach the piece of wood veneer, I'm going to use some foam mounting adhesive, and I'll just attach that to the card front. I kind of attached it more to the top of those so that the floral would show. For this little button, it's threaded with some twine from the water cooler add-on. I'm just going to attach that using a little glue dot here. I felt like the left side of that banner just needed a little something, and this pink button was perfect because it pulls in the pink from the chipboard hearts that I'm going to be using as well. I arranged the chipboard on the front of the card the way that I wanted it, and then I'm just going to use this Tombow Mono Multi-Glue to attach those to the front of the card the way that I want them there. So now that I got those all attached, this is all ready to put together. This card piece that I created, I'm going to attach to the front of the card using some foam tape as well, just to give it a little more dimension. I'm going to layer up that yellow piece of cardstock onto a craft card base. That's an A2 card base. And then I'll just remove the backer paper from this foam adhesive and attach it to my completed card base there. So you can see how well these kits really work together. It was a lot of fun to create this card. All of the products used in this card are linked at YouTube as well as over at my blog at sprinkledwithglitter.com. You can see more projects using these kits over at my blog as well. Thanks for watching today. I hope you enjoyed this video. Have a fabulous day.